Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again today. And got 10 comics this week. Pretty big week, including a big comic. But let's start out with the top of the printer. Museum covers for the week. We've got Teen Titans 47, right? And Justice Machine issue number 3. Justice Machine is a Mike Gustovich cover. And this is a Rich Buckler and Jack Abel cover. In the 90s, when I worked at Marvel, Jack Abel was working on staff at Marvel as the proofreader. His inking days were behind him, but he was, matter of fact, it was Jim Shooter who just died, who hooked Jack up with a proofreading job because Jack had just had a stroke. This is in the 80s, and couldn't work anymore as an inker. So that was one of the nice deeds Jim Shooter did, is he hired Jack Abel on as a proofreader, where he stayed for till his death, I think, next 10 or 12 years. I don't even know what it is, but there's a Jack Abel inking over Rich Buckler cover. Got a lot of end issues this week and beginning ones. Let's see. I think 9 of these were on my pull list, and 1 I pulled off the shelf, but it would have been on my pull list if I knew about it. And this is one from my pull list. Archie meets Jay and Silent Bob. I think this is just a one-shot. Kevin Smith is writing it. I got the Francesco Francavilla cover, and it's being drawn by Fernando Ruiz, inked by Rich Kozlowski. He used to do the Three Geeks comic, I remember. Color, Matt Herms, and letters by Jack Morelli. Speaking of old, he was a bullpenner in the 80s, a letterer. So there you go. Little Archie and Jay and Silent Bob. And who expected to see that one? Not me. And this, I believe, is the last issue of the Uncanny Valley. At least last issue it said to be concluded. So let's take a look at the last page and see if it's at the end. There's a the end at the end. So this is issue 10. Tony Fleece and Dave Watcher. This is the one about this kid who finds out he's part cartoon, and cartoons are real, though most adults can't see them. So he got involved in his cartoon world, human world, little war. A very enjoyable book. There's his Yosemite Sam-like grandpa. Like I said, I was just trying to find out if this was the last issue, which I thought it was, and I looked it up. And I think this was originally supposed to be 6 issues, because all the news was like, Uncanny Valley goes beyond 6 issues or something like that. But I couldn't. But I guess this is the last one now, because it says the end. And another, pardon me, another last issue is Solomon Kane, The Serpent Ring, issue number 4. This one's by Patrick Zurcher on the writing and art. Solomon Kane is a Robert E. Howard character, a Puritan adventurer, which I always found. This is the first Solomon Kane story I've liked, I think. I think it was because of I really enjoy the Patrick Zurcher art on this. So I've been having fun with this one. Only 4 issues. Oh, look, there's Conan and Tathaman, I think. Let's see, does that say what his name is? I don't know. I think they're just showing up. I think this is by Titan Books, who do Conan too, anyway. But like I said, this is the art that I've really enjoyed in this one. The story's been fine, but the art's been really nice. Then what do we have here? Savage Dragon 277. What is that? The first appearance of Robin cover, I think. What is that? I can't remember what Detective 39 or something, or was that the first appearance of the Joker? I don't remember. But either way, I think that's the Batman and Robin motif. Eric Larson does everything here, except Jack Morelli on the letters. Nikos Kautis on the colors. Mike Torres on the flats. Oop, there's the second Jack Morelli lettered thing. I don't remember if I noticed his name before on these. But Savage Dragon, always good. Wow, 277. I have all the Savage Dragon issues, but I don't think I started buying it regularly until issue 70. So that means I've been buying it for over 200 issues now. Wow, time flies, doesn't it? Then we've got Radiant Black, issue number 35, where Radiant Black is taking on this guy here who's mad at him for the stuff that happened earlier on in the war between... there's your previously in Radiant Black. The first story was 30 issues long, and this is issue 35, so the second story is now dealing with some of the repercussions from that first story. It's basically a superheroes type story. Good stuff. I've been enjoying it all along. The Power Fantasy, issue number 10. This one's been one I've really liked. It's the Kieran Gillen is the writer, Casper Wingard is the artist, Clayton Cowles on colors, and Ryan Hughes on letters, I guess. It's on the front cover. And this is the one that's about superpowered people trying not to fight. Because if they fight, they're going to end up just destroying half the world. So this is all about, I think there's 6 of these Omega powered mutants in the world, whatever they are. And if they can't get along, the world is gonna have a problem. All of Europe is already destroyed due to an incident. I think this takes place in the late 90s too. For some reason it's set then. And there's some of the stories flash back to the late 60s. And also in the 80s, Europe was destroyed for some reason in a fight between some interdimensional demon princess creature and one of these guys. Facsimile edition, Fantastic Four number 7. I continue my collecting of these Fantastic Four facsimile. Oh, I don't even remember this one. That cover doesn't even ring a bell. I haven't seen, I read these all in reprints. I don't even know, years ago, I don't even know the last time I read these early Fantastic Fours, the 80s. Jack Kirby, of course, on pencils and plot, and Stan Lee doing the scripting. Wow, I don't remember issue 7 at all. Maybe I never read it. Who knows? But I'm having fun buying these facsimile editions because they turn them into comics again for me. Like Fantastic Four number 7 isn't a comic book. It's a collectible. No one's reading their issue of Fantastic Four number 7. If you want to read it, you go to a collected edition. And collected editions are there for reading and for the store, but they're not like physical comic books anymore. So this turns Fantastic Four number 7 back into a comic book for me. So I kind of enjoy that. A new, another number 1, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. I don't know how many issues this is going. Who's doing this again? Horvath is doing everything. What's his first name? And Atsmain El How is doing the lettering. I liked the first series of this a lot. I think I jumped on it late, the first series, and had to go back and buy second printings of a lot of the stuff. Patrick Horvath, is that it? Yes, Oop, I'm spitting on my comic. Patrick Horvath, it says up here on the covers. But this is about, it looks like a children's book because it's got all these anthropomorphic characters. They're they're animals but as people. So it's got this children's book style, but it's a horror book. There's a little horror for you. And the lead character was a serial killer. Okay. Giant teddy bear serial killer. But the first series was good. Can't wait to see what they're doing with the second one. And this is what I picked up off the shelf. The Savage Sword of Conan was this number 9. And I picked this one up because of the Patrick Zurcher art. The same guy who was just doing Solomon Kane. I like his art. So I figured and like I said, I didn't even realize he was doing this one. Otherwise, I would have pre-ordered it. But a couple weeks ago, I I follow him on Blue Sky or something. And it got mail. I was like, oh, I'm going to look out for that one. And Roy, who runs the LCS, was like, yeah, we'll have extra copies of it. So like, okay. Pulled one off the shelf. Is he writing this too? Or because I see Nicieza there. The old search for the credits. Where are they? There's the title. Okay, Conan. Okay, so the lead story is Patrick Searcher, and then there's a Cull story by Fabian and Sean Chen. So I'll look forward to that. And here is the big one I got. Another Scott Koblish cover. But it's on, matter of fact, they bagged and boarded it for me. I think it's a wraparound. Ah, there we go. So this is a big Treasury edition. Look at that. With 1 million figures on it. Heroes on the front, villains on the back. And I don't even know what the story is. This is $15 for this one too. Writer Joshua Williamson. Artist Dan Mora. I like him. He did that. What was it? That Arthur Once in Future. That was the name of the series I bought by Dan Mora. The King Arthur's and all sorts of legends present Legion of Darkseid, an essential next chapter of the DC All-In saga. Oh, was that an ad for Superman 28 and not the credits? Holy cow! I think that's an ad. What are the credits? Dan Jurgens story. Bruno Redondo art and cover. Oh, Dave Sharp on the letters. Ink assist Cade Felipe. Adriano Lucas color. So this is not Dan Mora. This is Bruno Redondo with Scott Koblish on the cover version I bought. Let's see. Boom. There's Wonder Woman punching him. Superman on the screen. This is all sorts of fun stuff in here. Like I said, I've known Scott since our Marvel days in the 90s, so I collect his stuff. Why not? Why not collect the stuff of the people you know? Nice cover on that one. Let me show you a little of my artwork I got back here. First of all, let's stick to that a little bit. I started a new painting. This is just the first, laying down some base colors on. But after doing 10 drawings to figure out the next painting I'm going to do, I went with a completely different idea that I had at the beginning of me doing these paintings. Before I did my first one, I was like, all right, I'm going to take one of my cartoon art cards and blow it up and make a painting out of that. So it's like I spent like a week and a half working on these drawings to figure out my next painting, and I went with a completely different idea. Meanwhile, here's Dreams of Things 287. I'm closing in on 300. I like the way one. Only one eye out of the two we can see. But we can see his or her two eyes looking at it. Oh, look at that. More not eyes looking at us up there. I got a lot. There's one down. There's another eye looking at us. What's with all these eyes and not eyes looking at us? I like the way this one came out, though. The purples and magentas on. Purples and magentas always go together well. Plus lots of other colors. Very dreamy, this one, in my walking the edges of the dream world drawings. I like the way that one came out. Hopefully I'll have the painting finished by next week. We'll see. Oop, that's going to fall over. I'm going to put it down. Meanwhile, there's the painting so far. She's got a wide nose. We'll see what we do with that. Have a good week out there. Comics and art.